I never really care for protagonists. Whenever I watch Lord of the Rings, I find myself kind of disliking Frodo. Frodo is just this messiah being praised into the air. And with a lot of other movies and a lot of other shows, I find myself thinking the same thing. This protagonist is boring. They're one dimensional. I don't like them. I like the side characters better. In every single show, you could say I like side characters better than the main characters. However, I've never liked the protagonist more than Red Dead Redemption 2 and Invincible. These two have the best protagonists ever written. And today I'm going over Mark. If you do want me to make a video about Arthur Morgan, I have got no issue with that, just let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, let's keep going. In the beginning, Mark is introduced as this stereotypically nerd character. Not that stereotypical, he doesn't look nerdy at all, but yeah, he's definitely a nerd. Like, listen to what he talks about with William.
You up for some Clash Crash tonight? I'm hoping for a level 43 chest armor. Don't bring up that stupid job, man. Don't be that person.
When's the last time you bought a comic book? Those things are expensive. And they're doing Seance Dog twice a month, all summer.
You're into the stupidest stuff.
He also just seems very empathetic and friendly. From the get-go, even without powers, he wants to stand up for someone else. So this first impression is a core part of the character and part of why we love him. On that subject, let's talk about his love for family and friends. He seeks the approval of his dad constantly, and he is so incredibly honest with his mom that even when he talks back to her, he will immediately back down and apologize to her. He's also incredibly devoted to Amber, bringing her gifts and stuff even though he's too late, saving the world constantly. He's a great friend to Rex, a great friend to William, an amazing partner to Adam Eve, and most importantly, he is incredibly loving and forgiving. Somewhere in his heart, I feel like he has forgiven Omni-Man. After everything Nolan has done, I feel like he still has forgiven him. He is upset with Nolan, but he didn't start fighting Nolan the moment he saw him, or flew away immediately after. And another way to prove that Mark absolutely loves Nolan is to look at their fight. He is so incredibly broken that he won't believe. He refuses to believe that his father is this all-destroying monster. This love he has for his family, and for me personally, his bond with his mom, makes him such a grounded character. He is so much of what I want to be, and so much of how I want my relationships with people to be. It is so insane. And through his talks and beautiful little scenes with his mom, Debbie has become my favorite character in the show, pretty much. He is just so dedicated to his family. And dedication is another thing. He is so dedicated to his job, so dedicated to saving lives and doing it the right way, not killing anyone, ever, giving them unlimited chances. This is something that I also talked about in my other Invincible video, where I talked about Mark always showing empathy and love towards his rival, even when their rival has done something malicious. Angstrom Levy literally kidnapped his mom and his brother, and he still gave him so many chances. And even when he does finally break character, when he finally explodes into a ball of rage, he still feels bad about killing someone who is pretty much one of the worst beings he has ever met. He is so broken afterwards that he doesn't look at Angstrom and see if he's actually still breathing or dead. Which obviously leads to the Invincible War that we see in Season 3. So he's dedicated to people, and he's dedicated to empathy and love, but he can also be pretty dedicated to finishing the job, if he's pushed far enough. You see, the core of his character is what I just talked about. The dedication to people, the dedication to life, the empathy, everything about it. That's so Mark. But if you disrespect that core of him, you will suffer the consequences heavily. We saw this with Angstrom Levy, of course, but the other example is Conquest. Have you ever seen a character go so far just to finish the job out of pure rage? You see, I'm pretty sure that even though Conquest is an ass, Mark would have taken a shot to negotiate with him. Well, it depends on where in the fight you would have that negotiation, but he definitely would have been open for it. Like I said in my Immortal video, go check it out by the way, he is one of the most reasonable characters in the show. So to see him pushed as far as fighting with no limbs, just his head, completely bashing in the head of his opponent, even when it seems like that opponent is absolutely dead, it's disturbing. But it's so incredible. His character is now developing into a character that is willing to do whatever it takes to come up for his family. The core part of his character is still there, but the outskirts of that core has now finally broken through a little bit. He's finally being okay with not showing everyone empathy, not letting people walk all over him and his life and his family. I and maybe many other people relate to Mark on this. It's hard to stand up for yourself, and it's pretty easy to let people walk over you because you just want to show love and empathy. But at a certain point you gotta say stop. It's my turn now. This is it. This is where I draw the line. And Mark has finally started drawing lines. Now there is one line we can talk about, and we do have to talk about it in this video. You all felt it coming, and it's Cecil. Now there is one thing I would agree on with Mark. Cecil should have told Mark very fairly that he was using D.A. Sinclair as one of his assets. He could have been fair about it, but Cecil never told Mark, and I understand, like, that's a complete breach of trust. What I don't understand is Mark being against rehabilitating those that have made mistakes before. Isn't that the point of prison? He gives, with a little bit of pushback, Titan a second chance. Why can't he give other former quote-unquote villains another chance? It's quite flawed of him, but I think it's just because of the love, the core part we talked about, for his friend William and Rick. It's his personal attachment to the victims that makes him completely freak out when he hears that the person who did that to the victims is now basically getting a job, and from what we've seen, he is also free to just go to the movies if he doesn't have to reanimate invincible variants. So there is a point in Mark's side of things, but Cecil is definitely right in wanting to reuse assets. It's the best way to fight back against very big threats. I do not agree with him reanimating the invincible variants though, I want to make that very clear. It just seems like Mark is a very passionate character, and our version of Mark is not just passionate, he's also very loving. And the other variants of Mark have definitely been very passionate, but not all very loving. Maybe two of them were, one missed their mom and the other missed William, I guess. But they do not compare to Mark. And I think Mark is a great role model to live up to. He doesn't have everything figured out, but he's just dedicated to do so. Dedication is such an attractive feature. It's such a great feature for a character, but also for a person. If I meet someone and I see that they're very dedicated, on top of already being empathetic and loving, I'm going to immediately like them. I'm immediately gonna have a bond with them. If they're not empathetic or they're not dedicated, it's very easy for me to just say, you know what, I'm gonna brush you off just as easy as you brush others off. I am in love with Mark. It's not nearly as close as Arthur Morgan, and I could go on about that all day. If you want a video about that, please leave it in the comments down below. Or if you have other ideas for Invincible videos, then throw them down. I already did Duplicate, and I already did Immortal, and now it's Mark's turn. Maybe next time it'll be Debbie, Rexplode, Monster Girl, Robot? Who knows, you know, just keep them coming. I love you all, thank you so much for the support, and we're so close to 1,000 subscribers. If we hit it, I'm going to
Killed people.